Gun violence costed us $229 billion in the United States during 2015. This boils down to $700 per person per year. Who should pay? What is fair to everyone? Who should lead in cost reduction? How should the gun industry contribute? How should the federal and state government contribute? What can be done to make guns safer? How should gun access be controlled? Stay tuned and we will offer insights and possibilities.
The Second Amendment reads, "A well-regulated militia, being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms, shall not be infringed." The Second Amendment is not about individuals, who at the time needed guns to hunt and protect themselves and their livestock from Indians and other people. This was a given. It is about people as in we the people, and it is about a well-regulated militia. It is about the people being able to maintain independence. Supporting their intention for the term people not meaning individuals, the term person is used to depict individuals in Amendment 5. There was never a thought in 1791 that individuals would need an amendment to protect their right to have guns for hunting or self-protection. Suggesting such would be akin to suggesting that an amendment is needed to protect the right of people to acquire food to eat.
Interpretations by the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court has changed its interpretation over time. There has been dissenting views. Unfortunately, the court is sometimes known to be activist, creating laws. The result is overreach. Unfortunately, they often are influenced by special interests from outside sources, or justices are chosen to represent partisan views. It does not appear that justices always considered the actual original wording used in 1791 or the typical language of the time and looked at the fears facing the people. The Bill of Rights was written in order to protect people against the fears they felt at the time. Here are ways guns can be made safer. Make smart guns that interface with individual identification devices worn by people. Design guns that won't work for non-authorized users. Use RFID technology that keeps guns from firing at policemen or other people that have remote identification tags. Give guns the capability to instantly read the identification of those who it is being pointed at. Keep a record of all people that a gun is pointed at. The same RFID tags can be used for many other security situations. There needs to be incentives initiated that motivates the gun industry to design smart guns. Biometric identification tags need to be developed for positive identification of individuals. The same RFID tags can be used in many other security situations and should be done on a much wider scale than just to interface with guns.
Who should take the lead in reducing the costs associated with gun violence? Governments need to implement laws that make it in the gun industry's interest to take actions and make recommendations that lower the costs associated with gun use. Taxes can be applied to the gun industry that are tied to the crime costs facilitated by the use of guns. The gun industry may actually make many of the recommendations already being made when they are faced with sharing the costs that result from the misuse of their products. The gun industry should take the lead in reducing the costs associated with gun violence. The gun industry should take the lead on reducing gun-related crimes. Instead of blaming mentally disturbed individuals, their efforts should be on solving the problem. Instead of saying bad people are going to get hold of guns anyway, they should lead the movement to prevent this from happening. Instead of saying there is no point doing anything because it won't fix everything, they need to lead in doing what can be done to at least reduce gun-facilitated crimes. We know the gun industry and NRA wants to sell products and make millions of dollars. They have done everything they could to instill fear and argue for the Second Amendment rights to promote and sell their products. They will continue their ways unless the incentives change.
We know there is a really big problem. What are we going to do about it? We can limit what powerful weapons can be bought. We can control who has access. Let's work on eliminating conditions that lead people to commit crimes. We can get rid of hateful, angry rhetoric, especially from our leaders. Let's teach that violence is an unacceptable method for solving disagreements. We can push our leaders to change the consequences suffered by the gun industry for doing nothing. We can use technology to curb a gun's ability to be wrongfully used. Better yet, let's do all of the above. It is up to all of us to keep pushing for fewer injuries and deaths by guns.